CEO and Chairman Tom Siebel is here to answer that. Tom, that really jumped out to us. You closed 191 new agreements last year, 65 of which were federal government agreements. How much runway is there when it comes to striking deals with government agencies and divisions? Because this is a real driver.
Well, I think that just like the civilian, just like the private sector, the investments that the governments are making, state government, local government, federal government, defense community, intelligence community, civilian community, are making massive investments in enterprise AI in the coming years to improve services, to manage the military, manage intelligence, manage logistics. This is a large and rapidly growing business.
It seems to me that the government is usually late on these kinds of adoptions, but clearly it sounds like they're going all in. I can't wait to see some savings of taxpayer money. There's so many redundancies in the government. Would this and these types of deals that you are offering them change some of that and fix some of those issues?
Well, they're saving money just by buying these solutions from the private sector. Before, they were spending, hundreds to millions, if not billions, trying to build these solutions themselves from scratch. Now they've pretty much given up on that and now relying on the private sector to accelerate their efforts. So I think this is a good thing for the taxpayer, and it's a good thing for American citizens.
The chip war is in full swing here, and AMD, as you heard when we led into your segment, coming out with some chips. NVIDIA is the leader at the moment. Elon Musk over the weekend tweeted that he is probably in for about $9 billion worth of purchases of NVIDIA chips. Whose chip do you use? And he's going to use that for his XAI effort. But whose chips do you use mostly, or is it just a panoply of a bunch of names?
Our customers, we rely on the hyperscalers. So we license capacity, GPU capacity, CPU capacity from Azure, from AWS, from Google Cloud, as do our customers. And so we're not dependent on any specific chip. Now, it's very clear that, Jensen is dominating this at NVIDIA right now. I expect they'll continue to dominate it for a while. But again, we're cloud agnostic and chip agnostic. There is, a lot of capacity being developed up there, in the cloud, in the chip infrastructure. And the only reason this capacity is being put in place is to run enterprise AI applications lives, and that's what we build.
Let me go back to the government contracts and subscription gains that you've gotten. 50,000 inquiries from 3,000 companies in the fourth quarter alone. You told that to Barron's. What ballpark percentage of those inquiries, of people just saying, well, tell me about it, tell me about your service, do you expect will turn into actual deals, actual partnerships this quarter, the current quarter?
Well, that's a good question. I expect in the current quarter we might get 90,000 actually. So this is accelerating, and these are mostly from corporations with greater than $500 million in revenue. So these are very real. Many of them $1 billion in revenue. I'd say the bulk of the inquiries are about how can we use generative AI to improve our businesses, to improve our customer service, to improve our CRM systems, to improve our HR systems, to improve our manufacturing systems. So this generative AI market is just unknowably large, and we are being, overwhelmed with interest right now.
Speaking of Salesforce and CRM, they took a big hit last week. They dropped the biggest percentage that they have seen in something like 20 years on a disappointment, basically, of what people had expected, because the CEO and everybody else there has been pounding the table on AI offerings, and investors did not see enough of a bump in the profits, maybe even the revenues for that. And here's my question, Tom. Many of these companies that are making all kinds of wild promises have shown not even incremental bottom line potential that's flowing into profits and helping these stocks. What do you say about a possible, I guess you could call it, slow reckoning in the industry, where investors are starting to tap their watches and say, okay, it's been about a year. You guys made all these promises. Where is the money that comes in from those promises?
Well, Salesforce is an incredibly successful company, and Mark is a very bright guy. But it's, if we look at these enterprise application software companies, they have technology stacks that they developed in the last century. AI is an entirely new game. At C3 AI, we began to work 15 years ago building a native.
Let me interrupt you.
Native AI.
Dell stock took a hit because people didn't like what they saw with the data center numbers, where there had been a lot of promises about AI. And quite frankly, you guys aren't profitable right now. So what will get you to profitability, considering your ticker is AI and people love to see this kind of thing succeed?
We have a clear plan to profitability. We've communicated it very clearly, Liz, and I think we understand it. I mean, let me remind you recall it took Amazon 29 years to be consistently profitable.
I remember.
It took 29 years. It took Apple 21 years. They invested in market share. So we raised money in public markets to invest in market share, and we're doing this. And the objective is we have $750 million in the bank. We were cash positive last quarter, and our focus is on investing in technology, investing in sales capacity, investing in service capacity to establish a market leadership position globally in enterprise AI. So we're doing exactly what we said we would do. And just like Siebel Systems, which I ran in a previous life, this will be a long-term cash-generating, profitable business. Take that to the bank.
Well, you did make $310 million last year in revenues. That's a gain of 20%. What is the big chunk of that money going back into, if not the bottom line profit?
Well, we're cash positive last quarter. Right now, I expect us to be cash positive next year. But we're investing in technology. We're investing in sales. Okay, we're investing in sales capacity and service capacity. We're investing in market share. And this promises to be north of $1 trillion addressable software market, which is the largest software market we've seen in the history of enterprise application software. Our goal at C3 AI is to establish a leadership position in that market, and I think there's some risk we might succeed at that. So that's the goal. That's what we're focused on. We know how to do it. We have the people. We have the technology. The market's here. And as you see, the competition from the historical enterprise players is not very significant.
Well, let's hope that you don't take as long as Amazon to be profitable. I'm hearing you say it won't take that long. Tom, it's good to see you.